NXT took place last night in its home from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. And the show started off with Keith Lee coming to the ring to cut a promo. It was a long promo. A lot of the crowd liked Lee. They chanted, "Bask in his glory." That chant's a little old, but he went off on them. He talked about how he wanted to win the title. He vowed to win the title next week. Undisputed Era, however, come out. Adam Kerr snared at him on the microphone. And then all of a sudden, Strong, Kyle Riley, and Bobby Fish, all of them jumped Keith Lee. He tried to fight him off, but he was greatly outnumbered. Roderick Strong hits him with a chair, and he Pillmanized his ankle on the chair, which was brutal, actually, by Roderick Strong. Tommaso Ciampa runs out. He makes the save. He fights off James Pereira. As soon as they fled, though, the damage was done, and Tommaso Ciampa makes a save for Keith Lee. They announced Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano is official for NXT TakeOver Portland in February. That's going to be great. But the next big show for NXT is Worlds Collide, and it's NXT against NXT UK. Tegan Knox is being interviewed outside of the building with Kathy Kelly, I believe it was, who looks great. I love Kathy. When Candice LeRae runs up to her for a hug, they hug for a while, which was funny. I think Tegan even picked her up. Meanwhile, Io Shirai and Mia Yim are psyching themselves up for a battle royal later tonight, which is the big main event with the women. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne went up against Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews to advance in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So the Dusty Classic match, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne win. The Broserweights, that's a cool name, I love that. They get the win, even though it's horrible if it was on the main roster, because it's NXT, because it's Matt Riddle, it gets away with it, man. That's pretty funny. So they get the win. They beat Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews from NXT UK, so they advance. I think, I don't know when the finals are, but I guess they'll do it probably in the February show. And what is this? Is this the fourth one? The first one was Balor and Joe. They won it in 2015. 2016, the ALP won it. They didn't do it in 2017. 2018 was Undisputed Era. 2019, oh my god, I forget it last year. Who won it last year? Did they do it last year? Man, I almost forget it already. I don't know who won in 2019, but 2020, they're doing it this year. They probably did, I forget it. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne get the win here. Very good tag team match. I enjoyed it a lot. Went on for a while. They really did well here. This was a great matchup here. Both these guys are all very talented. They did very well. Crowd was super into it. In the end, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle get the win after Matt Riddle pins Mark Andrews, and they will advance in the finals. They do highlights on NXT TakeOver Blackpool too. They showed you in attacking Walter and Adam Cole in this field action meet in Pyramid in an 8-man tag match at Worlds Collide. That's going to be a good show. Tommaso Ciampa got to the ring to cut a promo. He said it was clear James Pereira has a hit list, so does Ciampa, and Cole is at the top of it. He wants Goldie back, and he wants his life back. By the way, Adam Cole is not going, or Tommaso Ciampa is not going to the main roster. I hope people know that. He said he does not want to go. So Ciampa, Undisputed hits the ring to attack Ciampa. They're beating him down. All of a sudden, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, makes the save. He fights off. He defends his former rival, his former arch nemesis. Him and Ciampa are reunited as a team. Gargano clears the ring. They clean house. Tommaso was able to get the Widow's Bell to help clean up. The crowd chanted DIY as the former tag team members are now reunited for a moment, but DIY is back. Gargano and Ciampa are reunited. So another tag team is back. It's the Time Splitters. That's going to be Kushida and Alex Kelly. They didn't really announce that, but anyway, you have Kushida and Alex Kelly going up against the grizzled young veterans, Jack Gibson and James Drake, another Dusty Rhodes Classic match. Solid matchup here. Alex Kelly's a bit old. He was in the Motor City Machine Guns. Those were such a cool team back in they were in TNA and stuff. That was one of my favorite teams. I love those guys. Anyway, Kushida and Kelly lose the match. It was a good match. Drake gets the win. He pins Alex Shelley. Kushida and them, they offer handshakes, but it's Gibson and Drake. They did not do it. They decided to be heels. They cut a heel promo saying they were the future and they're going to win the Dusty Classic. They go to a pre-tape skip. It's Robert Stone. Okay, Robert Stone. I see him. I think he's also like a comedy. It's like a knockoff of Tony Khan. That's what he is. He has the same glasses as Tony Khan. He dresses exactly like Tony Khan. That's who Robert Stone is. I said Roger Stone because that's like the guy who who's used to be the head of Trump's campaign. he wears the exact same glasses. I don't know. It's either Tony Khan or Robert Stone or Roger Stone. Robert Stone is with Chelsea Green. She says she's the hottest star, and she apparently too big of a star to be in the Battle Royal. So no Battle Royal for Chelsea tonight. Isaiah Scott against Tyler Breeze and Leo Rush, triple threat match. A good matchup here. I enjoyed it. Keith, what you had here was Isaiah Scott's clearly getting a push. Tyler Breeze and Leo Rush. I don't know about them, but they give the win to Swerve. He gets the victory here. Now we get to more so where the show is really built around is the Battle Royal. Before that, we go to Kathy Kelly. She interviews both Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa backstage. They talked about teaming up for old time's sake, and this is actually outside the building. I like how they do it outside of Full Sail. It looks good, actually. I prefer it rather than the studio. They talked about teaming up for old time's sake. They said Undisputed Era entered the same scene to confront DIY, and the security held back the factions, and that was pretty crazy because they're doing a fight. All of a sudden, Keith Lee runs out of nowhere, and he beats down. He runs through security guards. He throws them into bushes. He then threw another security guard onto the hood of a car, nearly kills him. He was screaming about Strong. The security tried to restrain him. He throws another guy over the table. He wants to fight Roderick Strong. He's pissed off about what happened. It was a great angle. Keith Lee looks like a badass, and it sets up him and Roderick Strong next week. So that was definitely very good. I like that segment a lot. That was fun to watch. It was crazy too. Next, we go to the main event, what the show was really built around, the Women's Battle Royal #1 Contenders match. Here is who we got. You have Casey Catanzaro, who actually made a surprise return. She made her return back. I thought she was gone. She's back in NXT. So is Tegan Nox. They're both back in action. And Mercedes Martinez is in NXT now. That was really cool. She's officially part of the main roster. She's with WWE now. Despite her age, I'm happy to see her back. You had Shayna Baszler coming out, which was a big surprise. No one saw Shayna. I thought she was going to the main roster. I thought that was the last we'd see of her, but she's back here too. Here are the other entrants. You had Bianca Belair, you had Mia Yim, you had Io Shirai, you had Santana Garrett, Zia Lee, Vanessa Bourne, Kaden Carter, Shotzi Blackheart, Catalina, Jessie Kami, and MJ Jenkins. This was very slow. It started like, it was like, oh, nothing's happening. This is a very slow battle royal. Then it got really good. It got very, very, very good near the end. So you had some eliminations. You had some of the, like, it started off like it was like no one was being eliminated. It's like, man, when's anything going to happen? And finally, the eliminations finally start to happen. You had Mercedes Martinez. She got a showcase. Eventually, the people were eliminated. Mia Yim was out. Santana Garrett limited, Izzy Lee, Vanessa Bourne, Kaden Carter, Shotzi, Catalina, Jessie Kame, MJ Jenkins. Not necessarily, the ones that necessarily mean too much. Eventually, as we get near the end, Bianca Belair eliminates Mercedes Martinez from the match. Maybe they set up a match later. And eventually, we get the final four. You have Bianca Belair, you have Shayna Baszler, you have Tegan Nox, and you have Io Shirai. That is how the final four went to the end. And the final four, man, it got really exciting. So this was a lot of fun. This was an entertaining match. What happens is Tegan Nox is kicking everyone's ass. She's getting all this momentum. She goes to the top rope, ready to eliminate them. And all of a sudden, Dakota Kai, who is not in the match, Dakota Kai, she runs out, she trips her up, and she eliminates Tegan Nox. That bitch. Dakota Kai ruins her best friend again. Man, she hates Tegan Nox. So Dakota screws Tegan again. No Tegan, she's out. Then eventually you get three left. You have Io, Shayna, and Bianca. However, there was a cool spot where Shayna Baszler grabs Io Shirai by the neck and she lifts her over the rope with her Kofi McClutch. She's about to choke her out. All of a sudden, Blackheart, she comes out of nowhere and Shotzi Blackheart gets in the ring and she eliminates Shayna Baszler. She was never eliminated. That's the big surprise. However, as soon as she's celebrating, she's gloating, and then Bianca Belair eliminates her. And you get a long match between Bianca Belair and Io Shirai that went on for a while. I thought Io was winning for sure. It has to go to Shirai. The crowd loves Io. They want Io to win. I thought, okay, they're going to go Io. They didn't. They went Bianca. It was an entertaining match. They went on the apron for a while. They had some good back and forth on the apron. It was a while. It looked like Bianca might be out, but Io kept fighting off. They're fighting on the turnbuckle. It looked like one of them's out. There's a cool spot where Io uses Bianca's hair as a weapon against her. However, after several exchanges, Bianca Belair gets Io Shirai in the torture rack and she throws Io Shirai over the top rope to win the match. She takes a hell of a bump on the floor. Bianca Belair wins the match. Crazy ending, brutal ending. Bianca wins. She is now the number one contender in the NXT Women's Division. She will challenge for the title at Worlds. Is it Worlds Collide or NXT Takeover? I think it's Worlds Collide actually against. It might be. I don't know. One of them. I think it Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm. Pretty sure. I'll look this up. Hold on. No, never mind. It's Portland. It's not a NXT. It's not a Worlds Collide. It's Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm at Worlds Collide, and then she'll face the winner of Rhea and Toni at Portland. So I assume probably Rhea's going to beat Toni. I think Rhea Ripley's for sure beating Toni Storm at Worlds Collide. I think Rhea Ripley probably beats Bianca Belair at the Portland show. So I think they're going to give Rhea a big push here. So that was it. Bianca Belair is your winner, and she goes on to challenge at NXT TakeOver Portland for the NXT Women's title.